Hey, welcome back, Bay and Giggles fam. Listen, today I'm going to do a 7-Up pound cake with a little twist. I'm going to use Sprite instead. So let's get started. Alright, okay fam, so let's go over the ingredients for the 7-Up pound cake with the little twist Sprite. You need 3 sticks of butter, 5 eggs, 3 cups of sugar, and 3 cups of flour. Here, I really don't measure my flavoring, but this is probably about a teaspoon of almond extract, and this is about probably 2 teaspoons or so of Dominican Republic vanilla. Okay, that's the real deal right there, y'all. All right, so let's get started. So first you take your butter, and you see how I let my butter and my eggs stay out overnight, okay? So they can be so the butter can be softened and the eggs can definitely be room temperature, okay? Look at that. Yeah, it's ready. So let's take our butter. Let's put our sticks of butter in here. All right. And I'm using the KitchenAid mixer to do all of the mixing for me. All right. Help kind of save you on your wrist, you know, especially if you do a lot of typing at work as well. All right. So let's get this last one in like that. Okay. And let's go ahead and turn our mixer on. All right, I'll move this out the way. Make sure it's locked in. And for the butter, I'm just gonna put it on stir, okay? And then we're gonna go ahead and start adding in our sugar. And remember, the sugar, this was 3 cups. So get that all added in like that. Now when you see it's kind of sticking like that, no worries, just take your spatula and scoop that off, okay? That's how we do that. Now let's get that crank back up. And so while that's doing that, we're gonna go ahead and crack our eggs. All right? So that's 1. This is 2. That's 3, and I like using brown eggs, brown large eggs myself. 4, then here's our last one, which will be 5. All right, and we're gonna start pouring one at a time in there. Let that mix up, okay? Then we're gonna pour our other one. Let it break the oat. That's very important. You want a nice mix. All right, and you just keep doing it like that until all of the eggs are mixed well. Okay. Our last one. Now I'm going to turn it up a notch. All right, we're going to turn it off real quick. Going to make sure all of the sides are pushed down because we want everything to mix. Okay? We don't want anything to be left out. All right? And because this is my cake and my hands are clean, I'm going to use my finger to scoop the rest of that excess off. You don't leave their friends behind. You add the friends to the mix, all right? All right. Now we're going to turn that back on. Put it back on the tube. And now we'll go to, we'll get our Sprite and our flour ready to start pouring in there, all right? All right. Now I'm going to wipe my hands off, so I'll be right back. Let me wipe my hands. Wash them off. Do not open it until you're ready to pour it in the cake, because you want that, you hear that sizzle sound? You hear that? You want all of that bubbling, and yes, you need all of that. That's going to help your cake to rise, okay? Now, I use a cup. Some people use 3/4. Some people use half a cup. I use a whole cup of the soda in my cake, in pound cake, okay? So let's turn that back on. And what I do, I alternate. So I'm gonna pour a little of the flour in, and I'm using probably about a half a cup to pour it in here, like so. And then I'm gonna use a little of the Sprite. Okay, use a little bit more of the flour, like so. Then I'm gonna use a little bit of the Sprite. And you just keep going back and forth like that, okay? Until it's all mixed in, okay? Just keep going. All right? Just keep going. And so now I could just pour this on in there. Bam, bam, bam. There you have it. Now let's pour the rest of this on in there. All right. Now, while that's mixing, I'm going to go ahead and dump in my almond flavor and the vanilla. As you can see, this vanilla is pretty thick compared to what you buy in the store. Like I mentioned, that's because this is from Dominican Republic, and it's the actual vanilla bean. Okay? This is no imitation, y'all. It's the real deal. I can even show y'all the bottle. This is how it looks. Look how thick it is. Look how it leaves the residue on there. That's the real deal. This is what you want to really bake with, okay? All right. Now you see how all of that has incorporated well with each other? You see that? So now I'm going to stop it. So that way I can make sure, like all this excess up here, we want to just scoop that on down so they can join their friends. Remember, we want all the ingredients to be able to participate with making this pound cake, all right? Okay, so we have all of that. Scoop that like that and knock it down. Okay, so let's turn it back on so that can be incorporated. I'm going to move all of this out of the way. Okay. And so now what we're going to do, we're going to get our little bitty butt cakes. Okay? We're going to get this. I've already buttered it and I've already floured it. That way it's good to go. And I'm going to lower my arm down. I'm going to lower my arm down on the KitchenAid, and I'm gonna get the excess amount off. All right. And I just wanted to show y'all how I do this. For if you wanted to make for multiple people, like little small bundt cakes, you just need one of these. This is an actual cast iron bundt cake mix that I have right here. And so I'm going to take my small spatula and let me actually take this off of here so I can work with it better. All right. And I'm going to take this and I'm just going to get small little scoops at a time and gently pour it in here. Okay? So we don't want it to touch if we can help it. Sometimes it will, and that's okay. Like it did, that's okay. We're not going to fret about that. But you just want to feel it in there. Okay? And then I move on to my next one. I'm going to move on to my big bundt cake. Alright, pan. That way I can go ahead and get this all around and get in the oven quickly for y'all, so that way you can see that part of it as well. So for this big one, of course, you could take large scoops and you just dump it in real nice. Okay, try not to hit the sides like I did in a small one. That one takes a little bit more time, a little bit more patience to do. And it's probably best to use a spoon for the small bundt pans instead of trying to do it with the spatula. But this is how I do it with the big one. You just keep going around in a circle, putting it around in a circle. Drop it in there real nice and neat, okay? Until you have it completely. Now, if you're able to pick your pan up and just pour it as you keep turning it, you can do it that way as well. All right? But you keep doing it like this. Drop it in there. Nice and neat. Nice and neat. And then I'm going to show you a trick that I used to see my grandmothers, my great-grandmothers, my grandmothers, and my mom and my mother-in-law, what they would always do, and they would always remind me to do, and that's to make sure that your batter is distributed evenly once you get it all in here, okay? All right, and that's about where I'm gonna stop at. Do a little bit more. Okay, so now you shake it like that to make sure it's distributed evenly, okay? And you can kind of hit it one time, all right? And so now it is ready to go in the oven, all right? I have my oven set at 325 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the temperature my oven cooks my pound cakes well on, and that's something you would have to adjust. It depends on your oven, which temperature works better for you in your baking. All right, y'all. All right. So we have the cake, the bundt cake in the oven. So now I'm going to go to my next dish. I'm making a summer pasta dish. I actually got this idea from Ms. Liz Hart. She's a YouTuber. You can go check her out as well. Okay, I'm putting my own twist to it. Also, I'm using one of my favorite cutting boards. Who says this, y'all? Cut it your way because it's your business. Who says that? You guessed it right. Tabitha Brown. I've been enjoying your stuff. Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this pasta. I have my water boiling, so I'm using the cheese tortellini pasta, okay? So let's go ahead and get this. All right, y'all, you see that water is nicely boiled. I did put a chicken bouillon in there, okay? I also included some butter because I like to give my pasta flavor. That's how I was taught to do it, and I'm sticking to it. All right, so my hands are definitely clean and washed. I'm putting it in by my hand because I don't want any splatter. That water is definitely hot. So you're gonna let this cook according to the instructions. You know, I believe it's about 8 minutes or so till tender. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and let that start back up. All right, so we have our pasta boiling. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's cut. This is the turkey sticks I'm using for the pasta. Okay, I like these. These are pretty yummy. My grandkids really love them. So I'm only going to cut up a few, okay, to go in the pasta in bite size. Just need bite size, okay? While our pasta is cooking. The shapes don't have to be exact. All right. And this is just, like I mentioned, this is just something quick, okay? Now, the one thing I need to let you all be aware of, I let my cake cook anywhere between an hour to an hour 15 minutes, okay? It just depends, and you definitely just check it, you know. I use what I use as far as regarding the cake. I use a long bamboo stick to check to see if it's fully cooked on the inside. But anyway, jumping back to this pasta, these little chicken sticks, Lord, I said chicken, turkey, poetry. These turkey sticks, they come in handy. They're really good source for a little snack for children. I know everyone's going back to school. That's another thing I'm going to show you on this channel. Okay? All right. I think I'm going to cut 2 more, and that'll probably be enough for the pasta. And if not, we can always go back and add a little more. Okay? This summer pasta is so quick and easy, and it's a dump style. That's what I like to call it. Oh, got a runaway. That's all right. Babe's going to take care of that one for me. Thank you, babe. Okay, so now we're going to cut up the sun-dried tomatoes. That's the next ingredient for this pasta, okay? And so I like to just group them up in the 2s or 3s or however, and then just make little slits. I love cooking with sun-dried tomatoes. They give kind of, to me, a meaty type of texture if you're trying to, if you don't eat meat, okay? And so let's get some more. I'm just kind of adding everything to that. And I am just cutting these up. Don't want that part. All right. And then for me, I'm also going to add pimentos. Diced pimentos, which that's what that is there. But I'll wait till the end to add that. For right now, we're just going to, because I don't have to do anything but just dump that in the bowl once I'm ready. Okay? All right. So, all right, y'all. So we got our our sun-dried tomatoes chopped up, the amount that we're going to use for this pasta. So now I am going to cut this onion up. And as you can tell, this is a huge onion. So I'm only going to use half of it because the other portion I'm actually using for the green beans. All right, so I'm cutting my ends off. Okay. And then let me peel it. All right. Peeling this off. And this is just one of the ways I like to cut my onions up. There's some, and this is some of the oil from the sun-dried tomatoes, which that doesn't bother me. That just adds a little bit more flavor to my onions. Okay. But for those that, if you do have a problem with that, you just rinse it off. Okay. So this is one way that I cut my onions up. It just kind of depends on the dish as far as how I'm going to chop it up, okay? But for this one, I'm not going to have any like particular way. Actually, I'm just going to do what I feel. And you know, that's okay, because you got to remember something that the mothers in my life have always shared with me. And my mother-in-law, one statement she always used is, the kitchen is your laboratory. You know, that's where you create. So you want to try something different? That's okay. Do it. Do it. If it turns out great, wonderful. If it doesn't, that's okay too. Okay, so now I'm just cutting up the last little bit. And like I was saying, you cut things up your way. You know, you cook things your way. It's your kitchen, it's your laboratory to create. All right? And so, anyway, let's get all of this chopped. And like I said, I have no particular way. I'm just cutting them up, okay? That's all I'm doing, because they're going in this pasta salad, and it's not going to matter. But anyway, all right. Just putting all of it in here. And like I mentioned, this is not the exact recipe. I'm kind of putting my own spin to it, okay? And that's what you should do. You should do that with all recipes. Okay, all right, y'all. So I allowed the pasta to cool down, okay? And I did put a little more butter in there so they won't stick and so forth. So now let's mix everything, okay? So I'm putting in my onions, all right? And just throw it all in there, all right? Putting in my sun-dried tomatoes, okay? We're gonna mix it all together. I'm gonna put in my my olives, sliced olives, and then I'm gonna put in some of these pimentos. Okay, not the whole jar, just some. And we're gonna give this a mix. All right, gonna give this a mix, and then I'm gonna add in the Parmesan cheese. Just enough to your liking, all right? And we're gonna give that a mix. And you see how it's all starting to come together. I'm not adding in the, I'm leaving the turkey sausage out because some of my family members are vegetarians. And so those that want turkey sausage, they can put it, oh, it looked like one slipped in there. They can put it, in their bowl individually. All right, and so now let's do the little sauce. So in this bowl I have some raw honey, and I'm gonna mix up a little bit of red wine vinegar, okay? Just a little bit, just a tad. All right, that's enough. And I'm gonna mix that up. Okay. Just like this. Get it all mixed really well. I'm gonna give it a little taste on my hand. Okay. That's good. And then I'm just gonna drizzle just a little over it, okay? Okay, now we're gonna mix that all together. All right, now you can add your meat to it. You can cook you up some vegetables, some broccoli. You can put broccoli in here. If you want to do some green beans or something on the side, you could do that as well. Okay, and so now I'm just going to put it in one of my bowls here. I wonder if y'all recognize this bowl. This bowl right here, this yellow polka dot with the blue on the inside bowl. This is a Tabitha Brown collection. So yes, so that's that. And so now y'all stay right there. I'm gonna put this to the side because I want to show y'all the cake now. Okay. So these are the little miniature pound cake, bundt cakes, okay, that I was able to flip off. And so now I'm gonna flip the big one, okay? So I'm placing the bottom of my cake pan holder, you just flip it over. You always have to let your cake cool off, and voila, I got a little piece right there, but that's all right, because guess what? It's still going to get eaten. All right. So this is how it would look, okay? Minus that little section right there. But this is real TV, real cooking. Remember what I said? I've always been told it's your laboratory, like my mother-in-law told me. So it's all right. So anyway, this is just what I'm working on for today. Okay, y'all see the cake is cooked all the way through, and it's very moist. Watch, look at that. It's very moist, y'all. All right, thanks. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for tuning in. I'll have more recipes and things coming soon. Bye, Giggles out.